name is Kiki and welcome to my channel. Here, me and my guides like to make pick a card readings, which really just help with guidance and overall hopefully answer some questions about anything you are wondering or questioning right now. So here we have 5 collectives today. We have pile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You always skip to the timestamps below. But in the meantime, welcome to my channel. My name is Kiki. Like I said, I work with me and my guides, and hopefully we can create messages which help you in your life and your journey progressing towards the next. Personally, just as about myself, some bit about myself. I have been reading tarot for a long time. I'm 23 now. I picked it up in my teens and I've been reading tarot for a long time now. So I'm always open to doing different topics, changing things up, making things different. This is why I have a different setup this video. I've been kind of experimenting with things in my room. I apologize for not being able to post this on Monday like I normally am, but I had a bunch of things happen and I had to delay my schedule a little, but I will be back on track next week with my monthly pick a card readings, as well as I will hopefully start to pick up more and be a little more attentive. It's been a really hectic time right now, just with a lot of things going on in my personal life, and I hope I could get it all sorted out soon so that I could get back to the grind and bustle and do everything that I would have set out to do. But like I said, we're going to move right into these collectives here today. So we are just going to move this to the side. Just 1, 2. Woohoo. Okay. And pile 2. Okay. So if you chose this amethyst crystal, this raw amethyst crystal, this is your reading. So this is what's happening in the next 72 hours. What do you have to expect? And we'll see what happens. I'm going to add any additional information I can based on what I see in the cards. Any questions I feel like should be answered, I will grab clarifiers for. I also will be using my personal deck in this reading here today as well, just to add a little bit extra information to see where things are really happening for you, okay? So let's start with what's happening the next 72 hours. So we have the Queen of Summer, the 7 of Summer, as well as the 5 of Autumn. So you will have a lot of people compete for your attention. With the 7 of Summer, I'm just thinking options. You have options here, options there, and these options are like really just coming left and right for you. So I'm going to grab a little bit of a clarifier to see what type of options these are, because it's either go a romantic option where you have multiple partners, but for a lot of you this may definitely just be you being offered a lot of different routes to go to accomplish some tasks that you haven't set for you and you're kind of very not sure which way to go. Some of them I'm really drawn to the opposing goals aspect of the 5 of Springs and just having different options and then opinions of where you should go. And then the 7 of Summer is really just about having different options and different like opportunities presented to you, different opinions. So lots about maybe being confused of what direction to go to in the next 72 hours especially. But you have this sense of confidence. Even the Queen of Summer for me is a very beautiful card. She's very like loving, she's very abundant, she's very calming, she's very giving, and there's like with her energies in particular there's a sense of beauty being the limelight. I'm feeling like for some reason I know this is a water card, but I'm thinking like 11th house influence with Aquarius of just being out there and unique, but also strong Leo placements here. So let's grab a little bit of clarifiers to clarify the message. So ancestors, angels, and my guides, please clarify this Queen of Summer for me. Please clarify. Oh, sorry, I used these earlier. So like I filmed a TikTok and yeah. Okay. So let's see. What is happening for the Queen of Summer? Please clarify the Queen of Summer for me, Spirit. A card to clarify the Queen of Summer. So we have the 4 Cups. One more card for the Queen of Summer. Oh! And then we have here the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, it's like there's a sense that you maybe a lot of people wanting to get your attention, right? So even the Wheel of Fortune, I know this is a spider, but for me the Wheel of Fortune talks about luck, abundance, but there's a big sense of you are glowing up, you're really becoming determined there this time. So a lot of people are taking attention to you, right? So let's see what the 7 of Summer is about. Ancestors, angels, and my guides. So we have here the 3 of Wands. One more card for the Seven of Summer. The Queen of Cups again. Yeah, I feel like you have a lot of people are wanting to get your attention, but you might be like, doing a lot of other things. Some of you may be on dating sites and might people will be seeing your attention, but there's a huge sense of beauty within here. A lot of people are really looking at you, and you have a lot of options around you. This could be like you have a lot of options in love, but on top of that, you have a lot of options of what you want to do next in life. Now, I don't feel like everyone's reaching out towards you, but even the Three of Wands in another deck reminds me of a messenger card. So some people are going to reach out, but some people aren't. So I feel like out of all your options, you may have like one or two people try to reach out to you during this time, and it's because they see you glowing up, and it's because you're getting emotionally mature. But I feel like this Five of Spring energy isn't people fighting over you. I feel like it's just opposing opinions. So let's see. The Queen of Wands. There's the fire energy. Let's see. Oh, then the Fool of Chariot and the King of Wands. Oh, okay. So yeah, definitely something about opposing ideas maybe coming into play. May just be different passions, different, like these feel like different women at the end of the day. So you may be this Queen of Summer, but someone else who's a Queen of Wands may come, and you guys may have different ideas and different opinions in this next period of time. So since this is a short scale reading of like 72 hours, I would say like you are going to maybe be presented with a love option coming in, just to say, as I quickly slide in your DMs, I don't think this is really serious. It feels really playful. And then you're going to have some maybe another thing happen, maybe in work or in a different department, maybe with a particular friend of yours, where you guys are going to get into an argument about having different ideas, or even just different directions you guys want to go into. With the Chariot being in reverse, I think of delays, and with the Fool being in reverse, there's also another sense of delays. But in terms of in regards to this Five of Spring of opposing ideas, I feel like this is more so like, which ways do you guys want to go? Do you want one of you wants to start this new beginning, new journey, do this, while the other wants to move forward ahead in something else. So there's just a sense of opposing ideas really strongly here. So I think that you are definitely going to get into some form of argument with somebody over maybe passions of what's happening next, something maybe for a lot of you, maybe work. Let's see, what's this argument about, Spirit? What's the argument about? What's the argument about? Eight of Cups, Four of Coins. Maybe for a lot of you, could be in regards to a financial opportunity. One maybe have one let go of, and the other one's extremely protective. So it may be like one of you wants to give this away and walk away, while the other one's trying to be greedy and protect it, or as well as just a sense of control over this one and wanting to let go. So the difference in opinions, maybe one wants to walk away while the other one wants to keep all tight. This could go into different directions. That this could be finances, this could be a romantic relationship if you're with a particular partner of some sort, but there's a sense of you coming into an argument because one of you wants to walk away from something, while the other one is very stuck and firm where they are. So there's this big difference of what you guys really want in terms of this tangible thing, because it's not a for most of you, I feel like this also has to do finances. It could be you arguing with a partner of what the way to go financially, but it's obviously not working, or something, or even like a deal with a family member and maybe dealing with a will of some sort, and like, okay, so how are we going to split these assets when someone's being too greedy, someone wants to walk away, but there's a sense of being something tangible being the issue here, and you guys want to go in separate direction, and one of you wants to keep while the other one wants to let go. But it's not in the sense that like it's like one decision affects the whole thing, though, it being the Ace of Coins in the bottom. So it's one singular thing that you guys are deciding what to do with, which causes an argument. All right? Okay. So let's see what else is happening in these 72 hours. So it's time to release negative energy, as well as oh, I love this. Okay. So more on the lines of this argument, wanting to let something go and move forward. Someone's definitely clinging on to something, whether it be you and you want to keep on to this physical thing, or the other person. While it's time to release negative energy here, it also shows someone wants to release. So there's a really big dynamic of wanting to release something as wanting to keep something. There's strong, placements wise, strong earth energy, I guess, is something I was thinking, but I feel like more so water signs, so Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or your fire signs, that being Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. Strong into play here. but there's, like I said, someone's definitely holding on to something, and this is what causes this argument over the next 3 days, while the other one wants to let go. And with this, I'm thinking of how, you know, Scorpio really just shoots out its venom, so it's like, and it's really quick, it can be very painful. So I feel like this is something that happens really quick, but it's really going to change your effect, and it's probably going to happen more so at the end of the 72 hours for some of you, but it can really happen wherever in this case, to be honest. But still, like, this is going to be a really quick thing that changes, and things are really going to start to show, and I feel like you're going to see a lot of people's true colors behind this wall here. So let's see, I have these cards. So we have Cut the Cord of Doubt, Overthinking Can Spoil the Magic, in the Now. So right now, it may be when this is happening for some of you, when, or even you're in really, like I said, it's going to happen really quickly. So it's going to be like, oh, here it is, right? And I like there's another imagery of having to let go things. And I feel like that's really the thing here. And I feel like with the Overthinking Can Spoil the Magic, it comes from the sense of just understanding that you guys could really stay on the one topic or try to move forward together and try to figure things out. And I think that's what's the main message from that, is like, as you guys may argue over this physical thing, don't let it corrupt everything around you, and just kind of like deal with that as a separate management skill. Because if for a lot of you can be a romantic partner where you guys are wondering what you want to do financially together, and instead of having this one decision really change the whole dynamic of their relationship, look at it as just a stepping stone to move forward and just try to make things come together closer between the two of you, because not everyone thinks the same, and you might as well learn to have really good mediation skills, especially when you're dealing with people and partners in particular issues. And I think that that's really what's happening with this next 72 hours, is you having to maybe know that in advance before you get to this point. Because like I said, it doesn't have to be a romantic partner either. It could be like a friendship. It could be family even, and parents. Maybe you and your parents are seeing eye to eye, or you and a particular friend may come into an argument over something, and you guys are not really sure how to progress. And you have to know the fine line between, is this something we could get over, or is this something that's really going to change the dynamic of us forever? And I think that's where the overthinking can come. Don't like put so much weight on everything around you, and just kind of like learn to coast things, and maybe give things a little bit more breather room to level up before you make certain decisions. Because maybe this may be something that lasts a little longer based on the severity of the issue, and you don't want that whole issue to just corrupt everything else around the friendship. And you have to learn to move on with one another if you guys want to be together as friends. Yeah, community here. So it's something definitely, the community is going to be really strong this time. When I see Birth as a Feather, I think community and harmony. So there's definitely a sense of being in communication with this person when you guys have this argument, but at the same time needing to come back to have harmony amongst each other, or at least how to generate harmony. And that's going to come from how you guys decide to deal with this issue. And I think it's going to vary based on the type, like I said, type of the issue. And it could come down to most of you probably is finances, or not, or something tangible. When I say tangible, it's something physically in your life that you see in your every day to day. It's like makeup of your life. And I mean that in the sense of like, maybe you got in trouble for like cleaning your room, or like maybe not putting things away in time, and it's just like sense of just feeling difference of self over something physical, not emotional or whatever. So we have ask others for help, compromise. So yeah, you guys are gonna need to compromise in the end. I was feeling that before, like having to communicate, compromise, learning how to overcome things with one another. And if you guys really do hit that roadblock, don't be afraid to ask others for help. Don't be scared to really reach out during the times which you feel things are needed, or you need to have support. And even here, there's a couple, and whenever I see like this card, there's like two cards about like other people that are really significant in this particular deck. And like this one is like the relationship of being closeness, and maybe coming to a compromise with one another and learning to move forward with one another. And this is going to be a really pivotal thing in this relationship, and the well-being of each other as well. So that's going to be super important. And I think it really stems from just these instances of maybe not being sure what direction to go with one another, as well as this like, here, it's more so like you guys may have just, like I said, very different opposing ideas, but you guys can come to a compromise through communication, through maybe asking for help and guidance from people around you who do understand the situation a lot better. And like I said, don't overthink this, and don't let this one moment be the moment that defines everything. And I feel like for a lot of you that would be important during this time, because it may be harder during this one moment than other parts of your relationship with these particular people. And you're going to see that like it may take time to get maybe comfortable like the same way, but you don't have to throw away the whole relationship. All right. Okay. So let's see. Any additional influence? Oh, okay. Any additional influences about what's going on here, Spirit? Any final messages? Ancestors, angels, and my guide. I don't often miss my hand, but there are days I miss my hand. So beauty is creative art, sensuality is harmony amongst nature. And on the other side, we have taking a moment for introspection. Think about your goals. So I think this is more so Spirit telling you that before you get into it, kind of like calm down, think about what you really want. Like I said, a lot, but you don't have to overthink, but do try to be accountable for whatever's going on and don't make rash decisions, right? So for me, there's a fine line between overthinking and then being logical about something. And in this case, like you don't have to prepare for this argument. It's just when it is over, don't like overthink to the point you create your own anxiety, but do be aware of the decisions that you are making in those moments, because I think we are all blinded by our emotions sometimes, and we act out of fear or rashness, which then leads to things being even more chaotic. And you have to be aware that maybe you weren't in the right mindset before you accomplish things. And then we start off with recklessness is the imbalance of oneself caused by excess of self-indulgence. But like I said, recklessness is just like a sense of maybe rushing into something, being very rash, being very, especially in this period of argument that you might get into, just you don't have to automatically feel like this is the end all moment. Over the next few weeks, you can say no to people, but I think at the same time, over the next few weeks, you may want to take those moments and those times to really be an awareness of what happened here and be able to make amends if you must be the one to make amends or the other person based on the situation or whatever's going on there. So we have another no, lots of no's here. So no. I'm going to grab some cards about what the no is about. But we have the 11th house influence, which I was feeling earlier with that Queen of Summer, which is about future, uniqueness. I'm thinking of maybe altruistically about the future, creating hopes to one card to that. Then we have Capricorn energy, which is about being patient, having strength, and being determined and grounded. And then we also have karmic justice is thought through honesty and truth. Life lessons are taught through cause and effect. And I think that this is what you're going to go through by the end of this, because it's more so a life lesson of where you realize what is happening and where is this stopping and where everything is going over and over, because this is like maybe a cycle you faced, but it really depends on situation, whether or not this is someone you've always had an argument with, or this is somebody who doesn't. For some of you, maybe a mother figure as well, where you often see yourself coming into an argument with, and you are now had this happen, and you're going to see the effects of what's going to transpire, and you're going to see how things really start to develop, because the Empress on the bottom here could definitely talk about a mother for a lot of you. So do think that through, that by chance what happens, because like I said, it could either be a romantic partner or it could be a relationship in general. But let's see what the no's about. No in regards to what, Spirit? No in regards to what? Let's see. And one more time. Page of Wands. And split the deck as the Queen of Coins. Some of you may lose this argument, just to let you know. And I feel like that's why like you're getting these no's, because it may be like some of you like have to be aware that maybe you are not the one in the right too. So I think this is like I said, it varies from situation to situation. So just be willing to be open and communicating how you both feel, as well as be willing to be wrong and admit when you are wrong. And I feel like a lot of us don't want to admit when we're wrong, and that may be important here in particular, because it really may just lead to things being more chaotic than they are meant to. Okay, I think that's all I have for you, pile number one. Thank you for sitting through this reading. I will see you guys next week, Monday. for your monthly check-in. If you are new to this channel, please like, comment, subscribe, and totally come back later down the line of 72 hours and tell me how it went, what happened, and what didn't happen. I'm very open to that. These are general readings, so do take what resonates. But they are also timeless, so you always come back and watch another pile at any time if you feel so drawn to. But I am going to move on to my next collective, and I am so grateful for you to be here with me today. Thank you. Okay, pile number 2. If you're seeing this here, this is your reading. So if you are drawn to this rose quartz, this is your reading here. So let us see what's happening in the next 72 hours for ya, and let's head straight into it. So we have the King of Summer, the 9 of Autumn, and the 3 of Winter. Okay, so I'm going to grab some clarifiers right away, because good sign the King of Summers does talk about like romantic partners, and then we have rewards with the 9 of Autumns. But with 3 of Winter, there is like a sense of sadness, or maybe being uncomfortable, or not really feeling that. Is also going to be talked about as a heartbreak card. So I'm going to get a little bit of clarifiers to see individually what's going on here. So ancestors, angels, and my guides, please clarify these messages here. And what's happening with the King of Summer? What is happening with the King of Summer? A card for the King of Summer. A card for the King of Summer. A card for the King. I feel like this is a chaotic one. 3 days. Oh, let's see. Anything else with the 9 of Autumn, Spirit? Anything else? No, I guess. What's happening for that 3 of Winter? Okay. So, alright. So I think you're going to meet somebody, but I don't think it's going to really be hit it off between the two of you. This person may be very attractive that comes into your life, and you might develop a short-term crush on them. However, this person's particular seems to be more so of a player. So I feel like you're going to lose interest really quickly, and that's why you have this 3 of Winter happen here too. So, but you are going to definitely meet someone who catches your attention, catches your fancy, but you guys aren't going to make a move towards one another, nor is it really going to develop into anything serious. But it's going to be like you do meet someone who's cute, long-term, who's a little kind of dope. I don't think this truly affects you emotionally, or even if you try to hit it off with them, and it does end really quickly, and then you like start manifesting other things and start to focus on other stuff. So, or this is someone in your life right now that you're dealing with, and you're realizing that it's not really working out. And that, I don't think that's anything to do with you, because you have this here, which is actually pretty cool. And it does say cherishing your time alone. So yeah, you might see someone, but I think you're going to probably go off on your own. Some of you may be working really hard and have some form of self-employment, or even have a really solid thing happen for you. Here, this also talks about new opportunities, new financial opportunities, new goals, which you may end up setting for yourself, or you may even receive a reward of some sort, whether that be extra finances this month. For some of you, yeah, it could definitely be extra finances or rewards. You may have maybe a benefit come through or some sort, but it's definitely, you are going to receive a blessing financially during this time, which is a really good. Then here with the 3 of Winter, some of you may like win like a little bit of the lottery, like maybe a couple $100, or even go like something good, but you're going to receive some money. But here we have like that like discomfort, that heartbreak again, which tends up turning you colder, but it makes you feel like you're cutting off maybe relationships during this time. Some of you may just stop pursuing romantic endeavors in total, and you're seeing yourself starting to work towards your manifestations and the things you can do logically, and just kind of putting that work, which is not a bad thing. I sometimes, you get knocked on your butt till you get back up. And since you get the Death card here too, there's like a sense of like endings. So you're definitely ending a cycle with some in particular to a person, and then you're going to see yourself maybe focusing more on your finances really quickly, or you're going to at least like have a leveling up for your finances. Some of you may get a promotion or even just something, but it's going to be something worth celebrating for, and it could have been a wish fulfillment of some sort. All right, so that's always a good sign. So let's see what the rest of the cards say. Communication is key, Gemini energy. as well as you've been training for this for lifetimes. So yeah, you're definitely going to receive a goal of some sort that's going to be with your spiritual alignment. So this is actually something you're destined to have to help push you into something you're meant to keep doing. Communication is key here. It just reminds me of you will be talking a lot during this time. So you may be contacting a lot of friends. You may be dealing with a lot of people, even though you may want to be alone. But you're going to realize that having to communicate, this probably has to do with work too. This communication, I'm really drawn towards the mind of autumn with it. So there's a sense of just you constantly having to work hard and communicate with maybe people. You may work in a field where you communicate a lot with others, whether that be customer service, sales, or even for some of you, it could be music or whatever, but it has a lot to do with communication, networking, modeling even has a lot of networking, right? So it's about, you're going to receive something because you've been networking for so long that's going to be a reward to yourself, and you're going to be really happy about that. Some of you may be working at home and you may do remote work, so you spend a lot of time alone at home, but you're communicating a lot, right? And this is whatever leveling up you're doing, you're going to see it move forward and up. Some of you may even work with as an influencer of some sort, and you're seeing that you may receive a contract or communicate with some really important people that's really going to help you get back into this alignment of what's good for you. Yes, with the sacred flow of yes, that's wonderful. Some of you might have strong Pisces placements or strong Leo placements. Overweight your intuition. Okay, so even with this, like I said, you're going to receive some form of win, right? And it's going to just really help push you forward. Even here, overrate your intuitions, you keep moving forward with understanding, logic, determination, and it's actually going to do good for you. And especially these next 3 days, you're going to, even maybe this next 72 hours, or this could be the next major thing to happen to you, depending on where you are in your timeline. But I did channel for 72 hours, so I would expect this to be soon. So there's a sense of, even though this may not have worked, you're finding yourself getting into better alignment for other things. And it can be definitely, have you ever heard of as you're manifesting, spirit forcefully takes people off your path because they're not good for you? This is what happened with this person. They took this person off your path so you could do the things you're meant to do. Find yourself coming into better energy. You're communicating more with people, and you're going to see things really start to move forward and move in a better dynamic. And even though you may be hurt at first because of what's going on here, you're going to see wins in your finances, and it's going to encourage you to keep moving forward. And the thing is, you may feel very connected to this particular person, and that's why you're being I have to overlook that, whatever, because right now I'm focusing on my grind and my grind. And you're going to see that because you're going to do that, you're going to have wins, and you're going to flow into this sacred form of yes, and you're going to get more offers, you're going to be networking a lot more, and you're just going to get to where you need to. Healing heart issues, yeah, because you're going to end up healing this. So I feel it's just going to be a natural healing for you, divine matrix, because it's all was meant to divinely happen, and it's not your fault, and whether something went through or not, because at the end of the day, you can't control what another person does. So I would just keep doing what you're doing, because it's obviously going to work out in a better way for you. And it's going to come bit at a time, but you're going to heal your heart, and you're going to see things really just getting into a really good zone for you. Remain positive during this time. Get more information. So yeah, don't be afraid to get more information on this particular subject too that you're pursuing. Don't be afraid to go after your desires and what is really going to bring in some form of accomplishment for you, and try to remain positive during this time as you heal this, and don't feel so hurt, because it's obviously going to lead you into a better outcome and a lot better everything. You're going to be very grateful in the end as well, but why you had to go through all of this to get to the place of success that you are trying to get for. And I know it may seem hard at first, because it just feels a lot of healing, a lot of motivation, a lot of need to get to the place that you designedly want to be in. However, it's going to come, and you're going to see that you're going to be very grateful in the end, because sometimes hardships lead to good things. And I do believe that. I feel we all have suffering, and it's inherent to humanity. However, because we are inherent to suffer, we also are able to feel the opposite of that spectrum and feel immense joy and immense happiness. Something about November may be important here, but let's see. Will that be a birthday, or when things really started to move forward. You may have gone into a relationship or ended a relationship during that time. We have now. What else? Communication. Lots of communication. Strong Gemini energy today. So you may be a Gemini, even 4th house, family is involved as well. For some of you, it could be family. Aquarius energy. Be spontaneous, thinking out of the box. And anything else. One more card for me, Spirit. Ooh. Okay, one more time. Ooh. One more card for me, Spirit. One more card. Okay, I guess not, because it's not really coming out. But let's see what's going on here. So, family is involved, which is an interesting energy. Okay, some of you may be an Aquarius, or maybe you need to embrace Aquarius tendencies. But even with like be spontaneous as being an extra card here and thinking outside the box, just reminds me more so of this override your intuition card of just like doing things in the way you want to because you feel inspired and you feel motivated to do that, and you don't have to listen to someone else. And you have communication coming twice, so there's definitely a strong communication thing here, whether it be you communicating with others or whatever. So that's back up here as more energy. And we have this family is involved. Look towards your inner child. In this particular influence, I'm more so drawn to look towards your inner child than the family actual aspect of that. So this may be, some of you may have decided to pursue a childhood goal of yours, and you're seeing that like it's starting to really come into play. Or even like this could also relate to this healing of the heart issue that you're having here. It's like you're also healing your heart, this heartbreak, this healing here, and that, and it's all happening within you, and you looking within to really heal the things that are happening and needing to focus on that after these next 72 hours, because it'll be really big up front, or even now maybe what you're focusing on, maybe needing the therapy, but you're seeing things really start to come into movement forward in terms of healing, in terms of moving forward and finding in your career as well during this next time. So your mental health is really important during this time, as well as you will be getting good news in terms of your career. All right. So good news, like I said, it always could be good, something big, something small, but it's about accomplishing a goal. All right, so I think that's all I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you for sitting through this reading with me. I do appreciate everyone who does. So thank you to all of you who are here with me during these times. I am developing as a channel, so please do like, comment, subscribe. Please support me. You can follow me on Instagram, where I do like to post the readings in advance, or you can just follow me on TikTok. I do post about them there too. But thank you for sitting here with me, and I hope to see you all next week's Monday. And at the end of the 72 hours, totally come back and tell me how things went, what happened, what didn't. These are general readings, so do take what resonates. But I thank you for sitting through them with me. I am going to move on to my next collective, but I hope I see you next week. Thank you. Okay, so pile number 3, if you chose this guy here, I think this is an adventuring. This is an adventure. So this is your collective here today. So we are seeing what is happening in the next 72 hours for you, and we're going to get more details. Any question I think is important, I will definitely answer. But let's see. So 2 of winter to start off, indecision, 10 of spring, as well as the 2 of summer. Okay, some of you may need to rely on someone during this time. With the indecision card being here, there's like a sense of maybe not knowing exactly what direction to go in, what to do. So you're going to face a decision. You may have to deal with these responsibilities that you're having. So you may be juggling a lot right now, and you're maybe overwhelmed and stressed during this period of time, because these 2 cards are really just maybe feeling overwhelmed. Some of you may rely on a partner of some sort, whether that be a friend or family, or even just a romantic partner. But we are going to grab some clarifiers to see a little bit more about what's happening in these 72 hours. So ancestors, angels, and my guides, please clarify these messages here for me today, and clarify that 2 of winter, please. Let's clarify that 2 of winter. So what are you? The 7 of swords. Ooh. the Two of Swords again, but it's in reverse. More indecision. Okay, one more card for this Two of Winter here. Oh, okay. What is this King of the Spring about? Okay. What is this Ten of Spring about then, Spirit? Okay. Oh. One more card. What's the Ten of Spring about? Oh, two cards, I guess. The Emperor in reverse. The Chariot. Offsetting. Okay. What's the Two of Summer about? The Tower. Internal change. The Eight of Cups. Oh, okay. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay. This is such an intriguing tale. Okay, so let's start with this section here. So like I said, we start off that Two of Winter. On the actual card, it says indecision is holding you back. Make the choice that's best for you rather than trying to please others, feeling trapped between the intellectual and emotional, which is then confirmed by the Two of Swords in reverse again, which talks about more indecision. So no matter what, you're starting from this period of indecision with yourself, whether that be indecision in terms of like finances, what you want to do next, intellectually, emotionally, or even in regards to maybe this particular partner, because I'll go down to that later down the line. But there's a sense you may have feel cheated with this Seven of Swords here. Maybe feeling cheated or even deceived by someone around you, whether this could be a King of Swords character, which could be like maybe a partner you're with. This person could be a little bit cold and emotional and really bad at revealing their emotions, which is another thing that has to do with emotions. So you're definitely facing indecision in regards to someone who did you wrong. This could be a romantic partner, or this could just be friendship, but someone did you wrong and you're unsure of what to do with this person. So then we move to this Ten of Spring, which talks about ask for help from others, all work, no play, being weighted down by too many responsibilities. So, which is then confirmed about the Sun in Death in reverse, which feels like you maybe feeling everything around you is crumbling during this time and you're not really happy, but you're also not sure what direction is really to go into next. There's a sense of being lost and not being sure which direction to take at first. And then we also, with this Emperor card here in reverse, there's like this lack of inspiration to move forward because of being unmotivated, because you have so much to do here. So you're not really, over the next few days, you're not looking forward to this decision you have to make. And you're just really dragging it on and you're trying to delay it as much as possible. But then you have this Chariot card, which is at the end of this confirmation series, which is about movement forward. And also taking that brave leap. So it's a complete 180 turn from what you're going on over here. So there's a sense of like you being very scared to make this decision. And then after being scared of making this decision, of being maybe trapped in this mindset, overthinking constantly about it, so maybe you may be suffering from insomnia during this time, but there's a sense that your brain is like really just catalyzing on this. You may have made a decision, but that's going to affect what you internally what's happening internally. You haven't changed your circumstances, but you're definitely making a decision in regards to this particular person. Whether this be, like I said, a romantic partner or not, because this is a Two of Summer, falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone, forgiveness in the resolution of a problem. Don't give up, your relationship can't be healed. But I feel like maybe some of you may have decided that you want to heal this relationship. For others, you may have decided to move forward, because I think it's going to depend on both of you. Go from the Eight of Cups, this World card, but there's definitely, you make a decision in regards to what you want to do with this person during the end of this time. And these are all like internal things. There's not like a lot happening externally to you. These are all like internal, like blocking and stones that you're overcoming in the decision you're facing. And I feel like it depends on like what happened with you and this person. For some of you, this person may have lied to you, may have deceived you, may have cheated, and in that case, you're walking away from this person because you have made that decision to make a change, and you're like turned, at least first, mentally walking away. And I feel like that's the hardest step, mentally walking away from someone. Physically, like if you walk away with them, there's always a chance that you could go back and not have learned the lessons, but you have to walk away from someone mentally to be able to learn the lessons that you have from them. And I feel like that's what you're doing. You're like, I'm going to walk away, I'm going to stop like dealing with this, whether if this is a friend, you're like, you're gonna start, like, if this person does this again, I'm not doing it anymore. It's like you've made that decision over these next few days. I don't think you may have changed the circumstances around you, depending on, maybe you put pile number 1, which you maybe will, but maybe it depends on what piles you've chosen. But if you just so definitely choose another one if you feel like drawn to it, because you will see maybe this will align for you. But there's like a definitely, by the end of this, you made an internal decision of what you want to do next. And it's because you've had all these burdens for so long and you were in delay because you were just confused of what to do. But for a lot of you, you may not automatically make the step to like leave this person, or even decide maybe to make amends completely, but you've made the mental decision. And whatever one thing you decide, or whatever direction and path you choose to take, the world does signify that ending of a cycle, but it also signifies the sense of achievement and completion. So no matter what, after you made this decision, you would have completed a chapter when it comes to this person. So whether that be you leaving them, or whether you guys deciding to enter into a new path with one another, and at the end of the day, you have accomplished whatever you have set out to do with this person. So let's see. We have your dreams need a practical plan, as seeing the light, laying foundation, divine plan. So with this, like the Taurus energy, I feel like this has to do with those responsibilities that you're facing, but at the same time, it does talk about these two here. So yes, you may need to maybe juggle things a little better and learn to make sure everything's working right. And you know what I mean? Like, you may want to figure out how to juggle everything if you have all these responsibilities. When it comes to this actual situation though, I feel like if you, based on which direction you choose, let's say you decide to keep this relationship, you need a practical plan about where your lines are drawn, what are your boundaries, where is the foundations that for here, right? What was the plan of where you guys are going to be, and what direction you wanted to go to get on the same page and on the same part of the plan, versus if you were to go, let's say, separate ways, what do you want to do after that? Do you I wouldn't recommend jumping into a relationship, but if, let's say, you are financially dependent on this person, for some of you, you may, what is the steps you want to take to become more dependent? Become more independent, and how would you want to pursue that? What is the actual plan around this? And there's a need to be a little bit more logical about everything, because then you may have made the decision, but after that, what are the steps to take to implement the decision? All right, and that's where you start to make this divine plan, right? And that's like what you are deciding to do. So you have the good kind, creator energy, earth, more earth energy. You may be an earth sign, or the other person's an earth sign, so that's your Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. So we have the good kind, creator earth, and your soul shines. And I feel like you are like, there's like a sense of, no matter the decision you make will actually lead to something good, and also lead to something really physical and really tangible, really solid. And you're seeing that things are made really develop, but also it's a strong earth energy in the end. Interesting, I always look at the numbers. So 35 to 34, there's like a sense of decading numbers. I think that's the word you would use. But even that, it's like you're moving forward towards the root of everything still, right? So you're moving in that direction. And I actually really like how I'm thinking of like moving towards the root, and I'm thinking of earth energy. So it's like a sense of like you getting to the root of your problems. So we have the Oracle's gift. Some of you may have like maybe psychic abilities, but even with the Oracle's gift, I always just think of all these, there's like little trees that sprout from it. And there's a sense with the Oracle of you seeing the roots of everything, the beginnings of things. So there's a sense of really strong building of roots here and laying those foundations again. So a lot strong earth energy and really understanding how to implement a plan. So I feel like you're really at the beginning works of this. So these next 72 hours, this is like a beginning for you in regards to this. Yes, it talked about endings of cycles and endings of this, whatever you want to decide to do in the end. However, this is like you planting the seed to get there, right? Because I think for some of you, you've been thinking about this for a long time and you're finally making that decision, but the decision is the first step to the plan, right? Whether this is for most of you as a person, right? So it's like maybe leaving this person or whatever, but how are you going to do that? Or what's the type of way you want to do that? A lot of people might have a conversation, but the conversation is you still implementing the plan. So there's a sense of like you starting things off from there, right? You may be seeing 333 a lot as well, just number wise. It's up to you. Yeah, because in the end, like I said, it's really about, okay, yeah. So like, I try to be friendship because I want to be like general, but for a lot of you, it's definitely a romantic partner that you're deciding to walk away from, or deciding to see if you can work on things fundamentally with, and that's really up to you which direction you decide to choose. But at the end of the day, it's about creating those proper foundations with one another, having an open stream of communication, as well as being there for one another and to shine individually in the way that both of you desire to shine, and not really overpower one another, but be willing to be open and expressive, and really to get to where you need to. We have sleep and nurture. Both green cards too, more earth energy. Heavy earth energy here. So you may be a Virgo, you may be a Capricorn, or a Taurus. Strong Taurus energy. But still, like, there's a sense of just like nurturing the inner collection, maybe taking a rest and not overthinking and overanalyzing again. Even though you are doing that, I think like you may need to pull back a little. But still, I like this overall vibe too of like, okay, let me grab some clarifiers on these romantic energies here. Okay, what's the romantic aspect here, Spirit? What do we want to know about the romantic aspect? Temperance, which talks about imbalances when it's in reverse. So there's definitely an imbalance within the relationship, and I think that's where this all really stems from, like I said. So let's see, anything else here, Spirit? Ooh. Yeah, so back to that imbalance of the relationships, maybe not feeling heard, a little bit of anxiety here. So let's see, what is the advice for making the decision, Spirit? More rest, right? And don't come from a place of like codependency either. With the Five of Cups in reverse, I don't think of like grief or like overcoming grief, but when it comes to like in this particular context, I feel like there's a sense to just like not hold on to maybe the past with this person and be willing to let go of things as well. So let's see, anything else about any advice about what's going on in this relationship and what's going on here, Spirit? Hierophant, yeah, be willing and open to lessons about what's going on here, and remember to have courage in yourself, as well as with the Two of Wands and being reversed. There's that sense of still being maybe unsure of what direction to be going into, but I think you just need to make a decision, and at the end, Spirit does want it to be up to you whether or not you want to close this cycle here. And it really, like I said, I think it depends on the severity of the issue in the relationship. So that will vary from person to person and context. So do have faith in yourself that it is up to you and the decision you make is right when it comes to this particular person. But at the end of the day, you have to remember to put your own energy first. I'm going to grab my personal decks. Let me just clear this up. I didn't mean to push it all the way. Well, let's see. I wasn't paying attention. When I like do tarot readings, sometimes I don't really like pay attention to the cards to do it. But let's see. What's going on here? Additional information, Spirit. Additional information here, Spirit. Any additional information one more time around? Okay, whatever. So it's October on the one side. On the other one, it's the fourth house. Family is involved. Look towards the inner child. But the fourth house just talks about the home in general. So if for some of you, if it is a romantic partner to someone you live with, which is many cases, I was definitely feeling like this need to like separate. For some of you, some of you may be going through a divorce, or maybe decided to make that transition. Some of you maybe have moved in with someone you want to move out, or even like apart from that, maybe like you might have been wondering if you guys want to enter into a really committed relationship with this person in the long term, and that's what's really happening, because it's all about like the home and the foundations. Lots about foundations in this reading, so that is going to be a really big focus of these next 72 hours. So your home life, the people you're around, and what's going on there is going to be at the forefront, and this is where this indecision lies. So we have the second house. Your work ethics leads to prosperity, straight positive. We have a yes coming in. Feeling isolated may leave one hypersensitive, Cancer energy. Warning, surrender to the divine. This is the sign. So yeah, just like the decision you make will be good for yourself. Right now, you may be feeling a little hypersensitive because of what's going on, that indecision with that whole responsibility. I feel like that's where this stems from. You may be, like I said, having a lot on your plate and you're not sure of how to handle it, and you're feeling really hypersensitive. So don't don't put yourself in a category of feeling responsible for going off the rails because you're emotional. Just be willing to be accountable for whatever happens after this. And I feel like that's going to be a strong pursuit here of just being aware of everything that's happening in your surroundings and not just automatically being the feeling like everything's against you. And there are definitely times where people feel that way, where they feel like everything is going haywire and things aren't working out in the way that you want them to, and there is always room for change. So never be scared of that, but you have to be willing to admit when everything is not in the place you want it to be. All right, I think that is all I had for your reading here today, pile number 3. I hope this reading provided you with some form of clarity of what's going on in the next 72 hours, and at least gets you a little bit more prepared for what's happening next in regards to your life. These scenarios, like I said, I try to get different perspectives in them all the time, because not everything has to be romantic or this. So I do take what resonates, or if you want to try another pile and it could be interchangeable and connectable, after these next 72 hours, totally come back to you and tell me what happened, what didn't happen, because these are general readings, so do take what resonates. But I do thank you for everybody. I am so grateful for everybody who does watch my readings. So thank you, and I am going to move on to my next collective. Okay, so here we are with it. I think this is a carnelian. I may be wrong, but here is this reading. If you chose this crystal, this guy is for you. Okay, let's see. We have the moon, the princess of winter, and the 9 of winter. So these next few times may be really hard for you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm honestly thinking you may be having periods of insomnia during these next 3 days. There's also a sense of being fear. Fear comes up in this card, and then fear comes up in this card. So you may be really scared during this time as well. There's a sense of you may seek shelter in a particular person who may be able to provide help and speak truth. This person may be really realistic, but this person feels a little bit cold, to be honest, with the princess of winter too. So they may be like harshly realistic too. So this next 3 days are going to be a little bit harder for you than the other piles, definitely. You may need to let go of fear as you progress down the line. However, it's going to be something that's up in you. You may be overthinking a lot, automatically jumping to the worst case scenario. But let's grab some clarifiers about what's going on here. So please clarify the moon, Spirit. Please clarify the moon. Please clarify the moon. More card to clarify the moon. Some of you may be wanting to run away from your circumstances around you because there may be a lot of arguments, or even like people really just being all up in your face. And this is why this fear and this unfounded and this anxiety is coming from. It's just from feeling chaos in your situation and you wanting to run away from it. So let's see what this princess of winter is about. Ancestors, angels, and guides, please clarify the princess of winter. Please clarify the princess of winter. The moon card again in reverse. Oh. The Empress. Some of you may be dreaming of a particular woman too during this time, so do pay attention to your dreams. But there's a sense of false hope, false illusions here too. So if you're kind of thinking someone's going to save you, I don't think so. That's like a good analogy for yourself during this time. I think you need to really... I'm going to see what else you need to know about what's going on here, but this feels like your circumstances over the next 3 days, and unfortunately it's not really an ideal one. Let's see what this 9 of winter is about. What's this 9 of winter about? The Tower. Okay, so definitely, I think everything is going to change for you. There's definitely chaos in your external circumstances and what you're dealing with, and it's really affecting your mental health during this time. And your mental health is going to be your main focus over the next 72 hours, because this may be other people and you're just stuck in this situation having to deal with it. Whether this, for a lot of you, this may be your home life with people and you're finding yourself being in the middle of a lot of arguments around people, or being stuck in between two people arguing. For others of you, it could be like maybe your friend group where you guys have been together for a long time, or even roommates, and you're seeing things really start to collide. For a lot of you, probably as roommates too, so like there's a sense of other people being involved here, and you're kind of just stuck in the center of it. There's a lot of disharmony in this reading, and that like even the 10 of coins talks about home. The Lover's card in reverse talks about disharmony. This card, the 5 of swords in reverse, does remind me of some form of loss, as well as the Tower cards talk about external changes and drastic changes. So there's definitely a big shift in like your environment, which is causing crisis during this time. With that, there is going to be a new beginning with the Fool. I feel like you're more so having hope towards a new beginning during this time, though, because I'm really attracted to how both these two are looking away at something else, and the fact that you had the Moon card come up a couple times in here, so there's a sense of like fantasy, right, and really being drawn into the idea of a fantasy of what you want to have happen next. So you may be really stuck in that mindset of like, because I'm going through all of this, I'm going to dream of ways to get out of it, but it's not really getting out of it, because you may be really hard for you to get out of it. For a lot of you, let's say you are younger and you're seeing, maybe you're having a hard time at home, especially you're seeing things not really maybe align as well, or even let's say you are in like a little older and you have roommates and you have your roommates fighting and you're like, oh my god, I can't because I'm on a lease and I can't this and I blah 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 blah, but it's like you're just kind of stressed out and like scared at the same time, because you're like, I don't know what to do. It's like the constant like thought here, but like still there's a sense of looking forward to a new beginning, imagining a new beginning, being very fruitful to that. And I don't see it happening in these next 72 hours, but it is something that you are looking forward to and something that you really want to happen during this time, especially over this period. And I think like with the major arcana cards all being here, I feel like this is gonna be like over the couple, you'll see it happen, and it's going to be a really big instigator. And for a lot of you, it can be at home life, and for a lot of you, it probably is your home life, whether it be family, roommates, your partner, romantic partner, or whatever, but you're seeing yourself kind of like wanting to move away from this feeling. Conclusions are within reach. Another Mother card. See, I think, where are you? See, like the Empress in this card are literally the same card to me. I'm pretty sure they are like both like Mother Teresa in some type of sense, but there's like a sense of like really embracing like yourself. And I think like you're trying to gain this courage as well, and it comes from this lack that you've been facing. And it's like some of you maybe feel like you are mothering yourself and you are doing these things to move in the way that you desire, and you're seeing things really for the truth that they are, and it's not really maybe the best. And that's why I say here too, like information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. It's like you're hearing all these unfounded truths that you don't like, and maybe like it could be like these arguments, something has to do with these things that you're going on here, and it's not the best feeling to be in. You may be feeling like maybe now I have to be on my own, or now I have to do things myself and like do things in that order, because you like I have to put myself as a priority. And some of you like maybe younger and you're like, oh, now I don't really have a person to parent me, or I feel so lonely now because of what's going on in these circumstances. For some of you, if you're older, you may be the same exact thing, where you're like maybe friendships and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe this person did that, that really changes everything. Or even a particular partner of some sort, something was revealed and you're like, I don't want to hear this, and now you're feeling a little bit alone. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Collaboration of souls. What do you really want? Oh, I love how it's all blue too. Throat chakra, this is all blue. Oh wow, even like all these cards, that's insane. So collaboration of souls, and what does your soul say? Both cards about your soul and really getting into alignment and finding out what you really want. And I think that's the result of these situations. Like you may be learning to voice things more and say things out loud, like this is what I've desired now, because I've been through this period of pain, and this is what I have to say. this is what I want now, because I don't want to have to go through this. I don't want to do this. This is going to be like a pivotal moment that builds a building block in your character, right? A core memory of some sort, right? Which is going to then instigate certain behaviors and certain values you have later down the line. So some of you, it may be like, let's say, okay, I've learned that I don't want this type of relationship because of this person and how it made me feel. And what I really want is this, and now this is what I'm saying. There's like a sense of you really coming into that power and like learning yourself and learning how to mother yourself and learning how to maybe even be a good mother because of the things you faced in your past. Like, I don't want to be like this person and how they treat me, and because then when I have kids, I want to make sure I'm able to be like this and make sure I'm able to provide this, because this is teaching you what you don't want, what's the fear you don't need. And I know it's going to be hard to deal with, whether this lasts a long time or not, but it's going to really be that building block foundation to you. And sometimes it's hard, but it's just how things go sometimes. We have the beautiful uncaging here. So, oh my God, I never realized this. There's like, I can't really show it in these cards because it's super hard to see, but there's like another woman inside the middle here that kind of reminds me of this Mother Teresa, right? So there's this sense of you caging, like unlocking yourself and becoming into this alignment. And she has like wings and stuff, so that's freaking amazing. So like there's a sense of like, even though maybe this will be hard, you're going to unlock something in yourself. Like I said, core memories, doing the thing to get you out there and understanding who you want to be next. This is what this is unlocking within you. And you're going to see all these changes and miraculous changes too, because you're going to start to be what do you want to vocalize? Where does your actions lie? Where are your boundaries? How do you create proper foundations? How do you actually build healthy relationships? And that is what's really going to be coming from this. There's something better, yeah, in the near future. So whatever has happened, something better is coming in for you, and it's going to be in the near future. Maybe not in these next 72 hours, but it is coming, and it's going to be offering you something better to get out of this circumstance and this predicament. And it's actually going to give you control as well. So it's going to give you that ability and knowledge. It's going to give you knowledge, control, and all these birds are always reminding you of communication and heading in towards a positive flow. And that's a really sense. It's also reminding you of this collaboration with souls too. So there's a sense that like, maybe you will end up in a better community. You're going to maybe find a soul family of some sort, a soul tribe, which really does help you in your alignment. And you're going to see things really starting to progress in a better positive light within yourself, because you're willing to be in more alignment with people by finding those people and doing the things that you like. And you're going to see things really starting to move forward in that sense. Okay, so let's grab some cards from my personal deck. Okay. Ancestors, angels, and my guides. What do you got going on for me here? Let's see. What you got for this pile? Oh. Okay, one more time around. Never mind. Okay, so we have Aries energy. Don't rush. Sometimes being impatient is self-sabotage. So that just says that unfortunately, like, I know it's going to be hard these next few days, but it's not something you can rush through as a process. Something about January may be important. Maybe they started in January, or something about January, maybe born in January. But like I said, don't rush into something. Sometimes being impatient is self-sabotage. So don't rush into taking action here, because it's all happening for you, not to you. And I understand the situation may be super hard to deal with, but in the end, it's going to actually give you control of what you want to do next. And it's going to take, you have to do it one step at a time, unfortunately, baby. But it's going to be okay. Being too controlling can be an abuse of power. A lack of discipline can be chaotic, and I feel like that's the situation you're coming from. So maybe you had an abusive family or an abusive household, and you're seeing things being really chaotic now, or something that's really chaotic in that regard. We have work ethic here leads to prosperity, strong and positive. So you do have a good work ethic, and you're going to see values starting to be really important here. The second house to me also reminds me of values. You have March may be important here. we have the Fool to a new unknown journey, which is that card that came up before. So you're definitely going to embark on a new journey. You just have to surrender to the divine and allow for it to happen. So surrender to the divine, this is a sign. You have a no, but the no came out right after this union amongst partners card, which means like I don't think you're going to be saved by somebody from me right now. So I don't think you're going to be saved by somebody, but you are going to start to share your values more with people, and you are going to start to put yourself as a priority in the ways that you actually really need to catalyze a change that side of yourself. All right, and you're going to gain more control, but in your own dynamics, because I feel like other people have too much control over you, and it can be hard. It can be really hard. Okay, I think that's all I have for this collective here today. Thank you for sitting through this reading with me. I hope I see you next week, Monday. I apologize for this reading being late this week. I had so much happen, but hopefully I will be going back to my original schedule with all of you. So thank you for sitting through this reading with me. I am going to move on to my next collective, but I hope I see you next week, Monday, on my next reading. But thank you for sitting through this reading with me. I am very grateful for anybody who does. And at the end of the 72 hours, totally come back and tell me what happened and what didn't. You can always choose other piles that work. These are timeless readings, and please do take it as it resonates. But thank you. We are going to move on. Okay. Alrighty. So if you saw this pile right here, this is pile number 5. I don't remember the name of this crystal, to be honest. So my crystal here. This is your reading. Let's see what is happening in the next 72 hours. But also, if I have any questions, I will answer them with another clarifier. So let's see. So we have the 10 of Autumn. Ooh, good sign. The 3 of Autumn. Ooh. And the Magician. Oh my God, best pile of the day. So seems like you may be getting a win financially. It says take steps to ensure the financial security of your children and loved ones, making wise investments and planning for retirement with the 10 of Autumn. Then you have the 3 of Autumn. Follow your passion when it comes to your career. Be at the best at what you do, being compensated for your creative talents. Then you have the Magician. You can do anything. Take charge of your life. You can manifest what you need to be successful. So all of this just reminds me of success. So you may be in a really good place right now. Things are actually going to be start really positive this next 3 days for you, and you're going to maybe following a passion of some sort, and just maybe a creative talent, but you're maybe collaborating with other people during this time too, but you're actually going to receive some really good motivation to move forward. I don't see like automatic like success, but it's like doing the stuff to ensure you're having success and you're actually on the right path. So this is like, if you're checking this, you've been doing good. Don't worry, these next 3 days or 72 hours are going to just be filled with you doing the things to continue on this long-term path of success, and keep manifesting, keep doing that. So we have 2 cards about being about rest. So balance and spirituality and practicality is deep replenishment, retreat, rest, behold. So even with this, like I feel like you're doing the work, so don't like stress yourself out. Find balance. Remember to take a break when you need a break, and you don't have to rush into everything and think everything's gonna happen tomorrow. It takes time for Rome to be built, right? So build your legacy one step at a time and make sure it's gonna last. And I think that's what it's telling you here. Right now, you maybe want to charge, but just give it a moment. You're going to see things really coming into alignment, and you're going to see things really just be very positive and very good for you. So rise, integrate your knowing info with money. Yeah, you like are manifesting heavily. You are going to get success. It's going to come in form of abundance and fill it with that inflow of money for you, but you're rising that, and you're maybe learning new things about what you're doing now, and it's actually a really good sign that as you keep doing the work that you're doing, just keep on the grind and just keep doing that, because you're gonna have that success one day, and you are gonna get there. Maybe not these next 72 hours, but you're definitely gonna get there. It's this next little bit, just keep rising your vibration and keep taking the breaks that you need to. And you are accomplishing stuff, and I think like we all think that maybe we're not accomplishing enough, but at the end of the day, it's like, yo, did you do stuff that actually move your career forward? If you did, good job. Pat yourself on the back. So it's not a race. It's just you making sure you put in work every day. And if they're doing that, you're good. Maybe not even every day. Some of you could be like, majority of the days in the week I'm doing all this and I take one day to have a break. And that's what you need to understand. Like, you're allowed to have a punishment without feeling guilty about it. And you could learn new things and keep going down the path that you need to. And you're going to see things really coming to alignment. You just have to be okay with taking it one step at a time. Endless possibilities, which just reminds me of this here, because this guy's literally holding like an infinity symbol. So it's like you're meant to go whatever path you decide. You can manifest any future you want, and you could do it. And as long as you meet the universe halfway and start doing some work too, like, and you're gonna be rewarded all these things over time. You just have to have faith and just be willing to learn things and keep moving forward. We have a yes, but we have a no. Oh, and barriers. Okay, I'm gonna grab some clarifiers for the yes, the no, and then the barriers. So let's see. What's the no about, Spirit? No to what? What's the no do? No. So you're gonna have two decisions to make, right? You're gonna be juggling some things, and you may have to say no to someone. The Ace of Cups in reverse. Ooh. Okay, so with the no, Spirit wants you to be aware that you may be having to juggle a few things and be willing to say no to options and things heading towards you. Like I said, there's a sense of collaboration here. So you may have multiple people want to collaborate with you, and you have to be willing to say no and know how much you could juggle before it strains you emotionally. And then, like, you have to be very analytic about it. Like, okay, yes, I could do... you know what I'm thinking about? For some reason, I'm thinking of like Doja Cat and how she's super stressed out because she said yes to too many things. And I think that's like the warning here for you. It's like you don't have to say yes to everything to feel accomplished. You're allowed to say no and be firm on that. And you're allowed to say like, okay, like I know personally I can only handle this much, and that's all I'm going to do. And you're aware of that. You need to be aware of that, and that's where your barriers come into play. Understanding when to say no and what is too much for you and what is not. So let's see what this yes is about. What's the yes about, Spirit? What's the yes about? Okay, so we have the Four of Coins in reverse and the Knight of Cups and the Chariot on the bottom. Be greedy. Be greedy. If you want something, be willing to die on that hill. That's what I say. If you're so sure about it, die on that hill, right? And be willing to go out for that passion. Say yes to that. Be protective of what makes you courageous and what makes you happy. And you don't have to feel indecisive about it. And you don't have to feel like it's just a fantasy. If you really want to go for it, do it. And then die on that hill too. I'm sorry, don't take it like that. You know what I mean? Like, be willing to fight for the things you want and not feel ashamed about it, because that is your baby. That is the thing you are protecting. That is the thing that you would like to guard with your whole life, and that you would be like, I cannot do anything without this. So just keep doing that. Yeah, because you may really embrace that and like be willing to accept gifts. Remember I said, remember when to say no when it doesn't align with your values, but also be willing to say yes when you feel like it does align with your values, that it is supporting the thing you want to protect and nourish, and it is going to help you with that growth and not stun your growth, and be willing to help push you forward. So be willing to accept that, but also know when to say no, right? So I think that that's what it comes down to here, and it's why you had both and the barriers in between. So let's get final messages here. So ancestors, angels, and my guides. Final messages for this pile about what's going on. Final messages for this pile. Final messages for this pile. Ooh. Okay, and the last one over. Okay, so on one side you have Libra energy with be careful during times of indecision, manipulation is present, which still reminds me of making sure you are aware of when decisions are happening and what to say no to and what to say yes to. Be charismatic, passion is attractive, and so if you want to pursue a passion, go for it and be charismatic about it. Keep doing what you need. There's the Fool card about going into something unknown, which I feel like is maybe this here. Be patience requires strength and determination. Be grounded now. November, an unexpected change. Revelations can cause disruptions. Loss can cause confusion and pain. But it's also just the Tower card, which just talks about unexpected change. So here, there's like a sense of you, like I said, like, this is also just a 3-day spread. Remember that, like, long-term goals take longer. So there's a sense of, like, being patient before you maybe achieve the whole big goal. Like I said, like, here, you're manifesting, you're doing good, you're actually gonna get an encouragement, something that will encourage you to keep going forward. Whether that be someone giving you a compliment in regards to what you're doing, or whatever, or something else, but there's a sense of, like, you receiving, like, a good incentive from this. And that's, like, always a good energy, in my belief. So, I'm tired. But yeah, so I think, yeah, I think this is good for you. I think out of all piles, I think you just need to keep your head on and be aware what is good for you, what you want, what's the actual goal for you, and keep that in mind. Be willing to say no when it doesn't align with your values, and be able to say yes and recognize opportunities when they are handed towards you, and understand how to differentiate them. Be willing to collaborate, but you don't have to collaborate with everybody. And I think that's, like, such a wishy-washy thing to say, but let's say, like, 10 people offer you something, not all 10 of those things are going to be good for you. So we'll do, like, maybe 4, because you could handle 4, and those are the ones that are most aligned with your values, and the rest you could say no to. Like, that's what I'm trying to say here. But remember, like, what can you do, what's on your vibe, what matches what your alignment wants, and you're going to see things start to, like, move forward in that sense. Okay, I think that's all I have for you today, pile number 5. Short and sweet. If you want to totally check it out of the pile, I am going to end you off there because I think that's all you really need to know about these next 72 hours. I thank you for sitting through these readings with me. I am always appreciative of anybody who does. And I hope I see you guys all next week as well for Monday. So please like, comment, subscribe, and then or follow me on my other forms of social media, and you'll see me again. But thank you for sitting through this reading with me, and I hope I see you all next weekend. So thank you.